Hello everyone, welcome back to How to Build. My name is Connor Hoffman and this time we are doing a tutorial on Gringat, the king of Luna Magna. This is obviously my interpretation of Nathan Little's self-mock, also known as Gringat the Repugnant, everywhere pretty much on the internet. This mock is one of the last of my older, smaller mocks, so hopefully the tutorial will go quickly and we can move on to some of the newer things that are more highly anticipated than this guy. So without further ado, let's get on with the legs. Alright, starting with the foot, these are the parts you'll need. As usual, you can pause the video and gather anything you see here. Usually some smaller parts are pre-built so that it saves time on the video recording. To start with, the foot is a very complex design that not many people have seen before. First you take this hand connector, stick that in the Nika foot right there. Then you take these two lift arms, attach them with blue pins, and stick them in the back just like that. And that keeps the hand connector from sliding out. That wasn't sarcasm at all. For the lower leg, go ahead and take this Paraka leg piece. Then take this, take these two thin lift arms, attach a two long axle right there, and also take a 3 long pin, slide that in the front through the bottom hole, just like so, and attach this right on top. Actually, just like this, so that the red pin's in the bottom down here. Next, you're going to set that down, not drop it, and take this Knights Kingdom armor piece, slide a 4 long axle with a stopper on the end into the top hole, then go ahead and slide that into the top hole of the Paraka leg piece. Those will snap together and fit very nicely together. Then you'll have these two axles sticking out the back, then just take a red hand connector, add a pass-through ball joint to the top of it, and just simply throw that on the back to fill in that little gap. That's the lower leg. Next up, for the upper leg, go ahead and take this classic bone piece, double socket bone piece. Take this new fancy Technic hub right here, put a 2 long axle right here and a 3 long axle right here, and a 2 long pin right there. And simply just attach that on like so. So that everything just lines up just like so. You get all that. Then next up, you're going to take this Paraka thigh armor piece and another 4 long axle with a stopper on the end. Slide that into the hole. Then go ahead and take that and slide that through the top hole in this design right here, all the way down. Then on the back, put a washer, so that holds it in place. And then go ahead and attach another one of these hand connectors, this one in dark green. Slide that all the way down on those 2 axles. And that's most of it complete. Then just take this side-facing Technic panel here and attach the second hole on the bottom right here to that pin. Then last but not least, just take your take this little horn piece, stick that on that open axle connection right there. And that's all you need to do for the upper leg. Also, this side is mirrored, so take the other facing different part ID Technic panel and attach that on the other side. And of course, to snap it all together, you just put the knee on the knee joint and the ankle on the ankle joint, just like so. That's how you build Gringat's legs. Moving on to the arms. Alright, starting with the arms, these are the parts you'll need. What better time to go over the full Gringat hand design than the Gringat tutorial? So, starting with this little 1x2 handlebar piece, take a 1x2 tile, stick that right on top of there, and then next up, move over to this hand connector piece. Add a little robot claw piece into the front hole like that. Then take your handlebar piece, snap the middle pin or the middle axle on right there. And then just turn it over so that the 2 studs snap into the indents in the hand connector right there. Then next up, for the weapon attachments, we're just going to put a 2 long axle in the bottom of the hand here, and then this Technic piece, just like that. Then in the other end of the hand connector, take this faucet piece and stick the end just in the side like that. And then last but not least, take 3 Exoforce robot arm pieces, On the one without the claw, stick that onto the faucet piece up here, and then the other two stick them onto the two sides of this handlebar piece, just like that. And that is how you make Gringat's signature hand design. Just like that. Next up, probably the simplest arms I've shown you how to build besides maybe Raxus's. Let's go ahead and take this Metru leg piece, take these two pins, and stick the red one in the back. Actually, no, the red one in the bottom, and the gray one in the top. That's what I meant to say. Then on the inside, take this Technic lift arm with two pinholes. Stick that over those two pins, obviously. And then take this Nuparu Mari armor piece. The other side will need the mirrored piece for that. And then just snap that on so that it faces just like that. And that is Gringat's lower arm. Very simple. Then the upper arm is a really, really simple design. Just take this one thin lift arm, put a 2 long pin sticking out on the top like that. Then attach these 2 red hand connectors on the top and bottom, just like so. And then you're going to want to shove one of these all the way through. The other one will stick kind of halfway out. And then you're going to take an Anika leg armor piece, put 2 spikes on it, and just snap that to the pin right there. And you can, on the other side, just push these in as far as they'll go, but that's about all you can manage. And this is kind of a fragile design, but it seems to hold up well for me, so I don't know. It might act different for you guys. Last but not least, take this little robot hand claw piece, stick it diagonally in the back of the hand connector so that it pokes out that way. And you should have this for a upper arm. Snap it all together, just like so. And I built the hand the wrong way. And that is how you build Gringat's arms. Naturally you need 2 and you'll need to mirror them. Next we'll move on to part 1 of the torso. Alright, so as I typically do, I'll assemble the torso in sections so it's easier to follow. To start with, these are the smaller chunks you'll need to build. This is actually all one big chunk. So to start with, we're going to take these 2 pieces and then attach them just like so that the 3 long axle slides all the way through this ball joint, or socket joint. Then we'll set that down. Next we'll take this piece and you'll want to turn it so that this piece points forward just like that at a 90-degree angle. Then this is going to sit right here, and you'll take these 2 3 long lift arm pieces and 2 long axles and just attach those on either side of that axle, just like that. And actually I've attached this backwards. This is supposed to face towards the back. Alrighty, next up we'll turn this around, set that down, take these 2 pieces. This is just a 4 long axle with the appropriate Technic connectors and a pass-through ball joint in the center. Take one of these Technic connectors and a blue pin, just slide that almost all the way down on top, then take this piece and slide it over that 90-degree angle piece in the center there. And then last but not least, we'll take these 2 4 long thin lift arms and attach them together with a 1 long pin with a stud on the end. Then just simply turn it this direction and line up these pins and axles just like so that the whole thing snaps together. Just like that. And that's part 1 of the torso. Moving on. Alright, for the next couple sections of the torso, these are the parts you'll need. To start with, these are pretty self-explanatory. They're just a Hordika neck and a very useful piece attached to a cam, a 4 long axle with a stopper on the end on one end, 3 long axle here and a 3 long axle here with a red washer just over that, and then it's mirrored on the other side with this one of the same constructions. It's mirrored over here. Then these 2 are also mirrored. It's just a hand connector with an old style ball joint and a silver Lego stud, a blue pin, and then one of these Technic connectors attached to the back, mirrored of course. Then we got the waist. This is just a Vaki waist piece, a 2 long pin and a hand connector in the middle. On the back I have 2 Lego studs, and we're going to take this 3 long lift arm right here, put 2 of these stud pins on just like that, and a 2 long pin on the bottom. Just simply attach that to the bottom hole of the Vaki waist piece, just like that. And on the front we'll take a Metru torso armor piece, and then in the middle hole just obviously place that over the top. just like that. Set that down, and then last but not least, the chest plate. It's just a dark green Roxy foot piece. We've got a washer inside and two axle pin conversion pieces. These are the black ones, which are nice and rare. And we have a stud pin with a red Lego stud on top. And we'll take these two Technic connectors attached together and just slide that through the middle, just like that, so that there's one axle sticking out the back. Moving on. Alright, now gather up all the pieces from the torso you assembled already, as well as these additional pieces right here. This is a dragon tail piece, and these are these two longer style Technic panel pieces. Obviously I've threaded a Mari cable through the bigger holes on the back. And then these are just the Quasi Spike pieces from Hero Factory. To start by assembling it, we'll go ahead and take the biggest chunk that we started with, flip it up this way, then take the two hand connector constructions we made before, just stick those two blue pins in the sides of those thin lift arms, just like that. This is kind of an illegal connection, but we're going to take these two big, long Technic panels, and then on the inner holes right here, we're going to line those up with these Technic connectors and the lift arm right there. Just going to line those up, and we'll do this one at a time so that it's easier to see. Should line up with the edge of that lift arm just perfectly. Then take the shoulder construction with the Hordika neck and the Technic cam pieces. Then on the gray axle, stick that in that hole, just like that. It's going to be a tight connection because it's kind of putting stress on the Lego pieces. As you can see, it curves inwards a little bit, especially at this hand connector right here, which is why we didn't have anything on the inside right there. But as you can see, fits over it, everything goes together. And we'll do the same with the other side. So like I said before, line it up with those two connectors like that. Then take these axles, stick them through, and stick them all the way down. That one was a lot easier. So that's what you should have by now. Go ahead and attach the waist by the ball joint right here. And then insert the Mari cables into these two stud pin pieces. Alright, and then last but not least, take the Roxy foot piece. Now on that axle, just stick that into that axle hole on that hand connector. It fits in perfectly. Alright, and now for the last bit of details, go ahead and start with this dragon piece. There's these two little robot claws on it. You're going to stick the top robot claw, which is on this side of the dragon tail, stick that into that red axle hole up here. And then the other one needs to stick into that axle hole, or that pinhole right here. Just like that. It might be a little loose, but that's alright. That's what you should get. Then last but not least, these Quasi spikes. Stick one end in the, stick the ones with the washers on in the Hordika necks right there. Just like so. And then cap it off on the other end with a second one, pointing the opposite direction. And that is how you build Gringat's torso. But what would Gringat be without his signature cape? That's right, you'll need a Zerg cape as well. So on these two holes right here, I fold the collar part of it underneath the cape so it doesn't stick out or get in the way of articulation. But simply just take the holes in the fabric and then just push them over these washer pieces on top. They should pop right into place. Just do that with both ends. And there you have it. There's Gringat's torso with the cape attached. And I think after this we'll move on to the head, and I'll also show you how to build the weapons when I'm doing the head. Alright, now for Gringat's classic head design. This is one of his own creations I kind of copied for my version. Obviously it's so signature that you can't really make your own design out of it, so might as well stick with the classics. To start with, we're going to need a classic Metru head. I've taken a short brain and colored it red so that it more closely matches his color scheme. Also, it signifies more that my version of Gringat is a bit of an evil character. So we've got that. As you can see, the Sharpie coloring over the green brain looks quite a lot like a trans red piece, so that worked out quite well. You'll need a tri piece, of course, for the back of the head. Line it up so that the plus sign is facing the same direction as the top axle, and we're going to stick a bow rock eye in the front, or on top, facing the front where this pin is. Then you'll need some angle 5 Technic connectors and these red wing pieces, obviously attached with a 2-long axle. And you'll need to put that on both sides facing forward as well. So you get that. Go ahead and attach that to the back of the brain piece, just like so. It won't go in all the way, but that's fine. Then you'll need a Kanohi Zath, otherwise known as Mari Kongu's mask, and just attach these horn pieces on like so to create that fancy little swirly design there. And then slide that in so that the bow rock eye goes over the top of the mask. And that's how you build Gringat's head. Obviously all credit to that goes to Gringat the Mockist. Then of course his swords are so simple I probably shouldn't have even bothered explaining it. There we go. Now I'll show you how to put them all together. So go ahead and gather all the parts of the mock I've shown you how to build so far. Then go ahead and obviously take the torso and start attaching the limbs. So the neck goes on the middle neck joint right there. The legs go on the hip joints, of course. Be careful with those older style bone pieces. For the swords, these little flappy plates right here actually function as sheaths, so you can slide the it's a little bit loose, but you can slide the curved blades on behind that armor and it acts like a sheath, and it actually stays in there fairly well. So go ahead and do that with the swords. Also the pin here is for attaching to the hands, of course. And then obviously shoulders or arms go on the shoulder joints. And that is how you build Gringat. Alright guys, that is it. That is how you build Gringat. If you liked the video, make sure you leave your support, subscribe, comment, do whatever you need to do. Feel free to use any of the designs from this video, with or without credit, I don't mind. Of course, all credit for the inspiration of the mock goes to Gringat himself, Nathaniel Little. You can check him out on TTV, I believe he's most active there, but he's also got a YouTube channel and a mock pages. If you like this tutorial and want to build this design, go ahead, and if you post it online anywhere, go ahead and share a link to it in the comments below, and I'll add you to the Awesome People section in the description and in the comments as well. Usually for canon set revamps and my versions of people's self-mocks, I require that you build the exact version of this mock that I built before I can feature you in that section, so keep that in mind. Now that we've got most of my older mocks out of the way, I can move on to some of the newer stuff that you guys have been craving. So feel free to leave a request in the comments for whoever you want to see next. Alright guys, once again, thank you for watching, and have a good day. See you in the next How to Build.